outside, and I'm a bit crazy about the weather. But anyway, today is the live about Harry Potter. We dedicate this live to Harry Potter, and to make Harry Potter we start from head, and I don't know yet what color is better. I chose this, it is green for eyes. I also need some black color, some black wool for hair, and I'm not sure yet what is better for the face. So this kind of beige or that kind of beige. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, today I read news that John Rowling, she sent a book and a letter to man who read this book so many times. His rank is a major, and he was captured by Russians, and he was in the Russians army. He was in the capture and captivity for more than 1,000 days, and he retold the other people about Harry Potter. He retold the books, and he finished all parts of books and started again, and he survived, and recently he had came home back, and John Rowling gave him the book. Today we make Harry Potter the symbol of resistance, the symbol of freedom, of chivalry, bravery, and no, I don't use WhatsApp. And now we always start, when we make Harry Potter, when we make any toy or doll with a head, it's better to start from head. Of course, you can start from anything you want, but for me it's easier to start from the head. And to make a head, I make a ball. Of course, it's better to make on a felting mat like this. And so let's do it like this. Remember that we stab from different sides. We stab, 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 and stab again. It's normal that there is something in the wool, especially cord wool, and I use a tulip felting needle number 38. So now we have a head. We have a neck. And now I take a bit of beige color and wrap the skull like this. And on this stage I pay attention to and Look, I don't use beige wool here. You will understand why a bit later. But now we make a face already. Yeah, so this beige complexion. And of course, it takes time. And I guess that today it will be a quite long live. And this is cord wool. Yes, it is a cord wool, New Zealandian Maori. But you know that there are many kinds of good cord wool. It's Australian wool, Lithuanian wool, German wool, in many shops. For example, in Germany it is Das Creative Hobby. It is a great shop for hobby, for crafts, and a big range of wool for felting. In Montenegro we don't have this wide range of felting wool, but anyway, look, it's very close to face. Very close. So look like this. Of course, it's always, there is some possibilities to make it better, to improve, to make it smoother. But anyway, so for now I'm quite happy, and I have this wire. I bought it in a garden shop, and we use this wire for body. And look, I bend and wrap poor Harry's neck with this wire. So, and one more. So we are making this Harry Potter on a wire structure, on armature. Why we do this? Because it will make our Harry more flexible, more movable, and maybe even more durable. So something like this. And here I can use any color of wool. For example, I have a lot of this wool, and I will, for the first wrap, I will take this color because I have some abundance of this wool, and so for me it's a chance to save some wine red wool, and I stab. So now I so kind of concrete the body, and then I will return to the neck. when you work with wire, be attentive. Don't hurry up, because it's easier to break the needle because of the wire. And I love this one because it's wrapped in kind of a plastic and it is a bit softer. If you work only with iron wire, your needles become extinct very fast. So your needles spoils and breaks very, very fast. You break them easily, and I recommend this kind of wire. Even I'm quite an experienced crafter and felting crafter, I break sometimes my needles. Now I take this quantity of wool and wrap around the neck. Don't use a lot of wool at once, because it will be more difficult to make it flawless. So seams will be visible all the time. So it's better to use a small quantity of wool to work with layers. You take thin, transparent layer of wool, very little quantity. Put, then stab. And while you're making the neck, you can work with this jaw lines. Work with the jawline. So stab and make the jaw. So can you understand that that is Harry Potter, but it's him, believe me. You know that no, I don't live in Podgorica, I live in Bar. And you know that in old town of Bar, there are a lot of mosques and there are a lot of Muslim people, but you know that it's quite equal, and it's quite friendly, and it's not radical Islam, and they're not fanatical Muslims. No, of course, very, very, very different people. It depends only on people, not on their country, nationality, place of living. But I see and I love it so much that Christian confessions, like Orthodox people, Catholic, they live in peace here, and as well as Muslims. I hope they will do this in future, because, you know, it's horrible when people try to say what is better, what is right, what is proper, what is true. It's horrible. And people suffered from war in this region so many centuries, and the last war was so bloody, and and it brought so many tragedies, economical, and so I hope they will live in peace in future, like they do now. People don't want war. People don't want some scandals, some arguments. They don't. They just want to live. Okay, so look. So I'm okay with the neck. I think it's quite okay. A bit more, just a few steps more. And now, so nose. When I make nose, I take very little quantity of wool here, like this, like you see here, and put it here. So you know that in Harry Potter case we need quite wide forehead, because we have to have space to make a scar. So we leave quite wide forehead for Harry, and we make a nose. I feel myself a plastic surgeon. So, nose. And again, it's better to use very little quantity of wool, and step by step. Not to leave any seams, any rough lines. And when we make nose, we see that Harry is a bit chubby, yeah. So, but he wasn't plump. He was a very slim, skinny boy. So we stab here. When we stab in one place, so we reduce the size, the volume, and as you can see, so just with a few steps, I turn Harry from chubby boys to quite skinny. And continue stabbing. Here I can use needle number 38. It is a thinner, more narrow needle that help us to smoothen the surface. For example, if you took too much wool, and when you make a nose, you see very obvious seams, some fractures, or some very rough lines here on the face. You can take very little wool again, like this, yeah? Put it like this, and don't make it nose, but just you put it on the whole surface of the face and stab, and then with this technique you will hide the seams and make it flawless. But you spread this wool on the whole face, and you can see that it is a bit fluffy, yeah, if we look at his profile, but you reduce this fluffiness very fast. Pay attention to this part of the nose. If you want, you can make nostrils. How we make nostrils? We take a needle and stab in one place many times. And you can see nostrils. If you have more, or if you want to have more obvious nostrils, you have to take tiny quantity, yes, I mean tiny quantity of brown wool, for example, and make this 2 dots, and they will look like nostrils. So now eyes. To make eyes, I need some black wool. It's too much. Let's lessen it twice. Divide. And first I have 2 black dots here. Harry the alien is ready. Now we'll take white. The whiter, the better. It is the whitest shade I have, and I rub between my fingers and stab. Stab again, stab more. And stab more. So look, looks strange. Then let's take some green for eyes. You know that Harry had green lilies, his mother's eyes, and it is a very recognizable face feature that everybody pays attention to. And sometimes we, if it is a big face, we can use dark green to make it more natural. But if it is a very small face, like I'm making now, it's better to make lighter shade, because to make it more visible, that more obvious that he has green eyes. Then let's make eyebrows. So when we make first black dot and put a white dot on it, so we make a lash line, and it is the easiest way to highlight lashes. So it's already, it's like something. Then I just try to make a mouth, just by stabbing it. And I will make his mouth with a maroon color. It is something between red and brick color of bricks. And sometimes it's worth to make it brown. Again, work with the jawline. Also make these hollows on the cheeks, because you remember that he was skinny. He wasn't a very smiley kind, but he was a kind, he was friendly, amiable, and to show this kind of personality, I make him a bit smiley. Okay, and now it is a scarf. So this is a Avada Kedavra sign, and I will take this color, rub it, make a thread like this, and make a lightning above the eyebrow. You know, some girls told me that it's easier to make with an embroidery, but I'm not good at embroidery, and I prefer to make it with a wool as well. Here's a scarf, his scarf. You know, sometimes to make this little scar is more difficult and takes more time than, for example, to make the eyes, both of eyes. Harry looks a bit surprised. What is happening and where is his shaggy hair? So can you guess who is that? And now let's make hair. And Harry turns into a rock star. So we can make Harry in Angela Davis style. We can know that when you're a crafter, when you can work with some materials, you're like a magician. You can do anything. You don't need magic wand. You have your tools, and don't stab too deep, because even from this back side of a skull, you can when you stab very deeply, the black spots from hair can appear on the face, and we don't need this. Yes, and so let's. Now I don't have ribbon kind of wool to make hair, but sometimes I like to work more with the ribbon hair, because I can cut, I can make I can make, for example, a fringe and cut it with scissors, and so make it very, very natural. But now I don't have ribbon wool, and I do it like this. But and so we can make ears. And now let's make glasses. To make glasses, I use this kind of wire. It's like this. Oh, it's easily cut with scissors. And how I make it like this. So I bend. and try to so it's like this. The most difficult part is to make the same one. So it's something like this. Of course, we can make another kind of glasses. I think it's most suitable for Weasley, for Percy Weasley, not for Harry. So also we can make it like them like this. And sometimes, you know, that to make glasses it takes more than to make the whole, the both eyes, but it's a recognizable detail and it is needed. it's very easy to spoil, really. You know, you can buy some accessorized like glasses on some AliExpress or Temu. There are a lot of good, nice, ready-made accessories for some toys. Very good, not expensive, but if you want to make everything by yourself, so do it. And so look at him now. And now you stab here to fix their glasses, and you can add some air to some wool for ears. It's like this. I think that I will color these glasses to black color. I will take acrylic marker and paint them. So look. Now, what about hands? So we'll take this wire, poke and let's get started. Tomorrow let's finish Harry Potter tomorrow because it's already 50 minutes. So it's it's about 1 hour to make a head, to make Harry Potter's head. And so let's continue tomorrow, maybe the same time, and we will finish the body, and it will be the whole Harry Potter. Okay, bye bye.